All right. Good morning, YouTube. Hope all y'all are doing good out there in your respective parts of the world. Um, this is February, just after it's pretty warm. Fires are only going because I want to keep the concrete heated up. Otherwise, it gets the as long as the concrete radiates even a little, it's easy to go through the winter. It's probably been the warmest winter that I've had here in Colorado this year. Is And we've had some doozy. I up when I was living upstairs exclusively before this was done down here, or not. It's not done, but it's more done than it was. But when I was living upstairs with the fire going, we were in the middle of a storm where the wind was like over like 70 miles an hour. When the greenhouse got tore down and blown away, the last recording was like 93 on the little thing, but that was like a gust, is what I'm trying to get at. But the water was egressing a window, and I had ice on the floor upstairs with the fire going inside the cabin. That's when you know it's really stupid cold, and you got to change the way you think. But did I design this one? No, I didn't. This was it was I I pretty much had a mental breakdown even trying to build it for months. I was dragging my feet. I built this place for a guy from Louisiana, so if it makes a lot more sense if you look at it from the outside in that perspective. Um, and he had no idea of a winter that was like colder than 50 degrees at night. Bless his heart. It just depends on where you're from. Is really what how you think about stuff. I'd already seen the North Sea, so I knew what life got like here. Um, he just wasn't realistic. He meant well, but he just wasn't realistic, is what I'm trying to say. Well, get back to more unrealistic people. We have a delusion in the White House that he wanted to invade Panama, put troops in Mexico, but now that's better because he threw a tantrum and found out that Mexico could like spank us for 70% of our food. Um, he's an uneducated, senile, delusional sociopath. Let's get that right out from the Andy's orange. Okay, so if you want an identifier, um, it is like they should have a bolo for this guy. He's that dangerous. But y'all elected him, and I'm more than to it. Okay, am I going to claim now he's like my president? No, I will never do that. But he is your president, y'all's president. So I'm good with that. I'm happy with y'all choosing this guy. That doesn't bother me a bit. Like I said, I went debt free. That was my mission for years, and now that I am debt free, it doesn't bother me so much. I mean, um, I don't have a house that the bank is going to take and resell to make a profit because it's going to be legal to do this because of this clown. Um, I don't have any of those, though. And truthfully, I don't really want to be on this fucking rock tomorrow. To be honest, okay. There's a lot of y'all that like desperately cling on to shit that I don't. Um, so I'm not. We're not coming at it from the same perspective, y'all. But now he wanted to invade Panama, Mexico, Canada, Greenland. Let's see, is there? Oh, yeah, Gaza. Yeah. Now the American taxpayers are going to rebuild Gaza. American servicemen are going to die. Um, and Americans the taxpayers are going to rebuild Gaza for the billionaires. Um, y'all got to stop allowing the billionaires to play you like uneducated children because that's all they're doing. There is no Democrat or Republican or any of that. It's billionaires against the rest of the species. There's like 4,000 of them. There's 8 billion of us, and they are winning. If y'all don't get that, it's not even close. These are delusional sociopaths that will have no problem with genocide to achieve their goals. Um, I can't. Okay, we started a war in Iraq for oil. We started a war in Afghanistan for rare earth minerals and uranium, stuff like that. The billionaires secured the oil, like in Syria. The reason we have troops there, Trump sent them there to secure our interest. As long as we bleed and die for billionaires' wealth, then that's a goal. That's an acceptable goal for America. If you're not willing to bleed and die for a billionaire, well, then you're a problem. I mean, you're a veteran that he's going to try to get rid of to where that is Salvador or something like that. He's renting a private prison or making private prison arrangements for American citizens to go there. Um, if I can't even put that in words, y'all, and to rebuild Gaza to displace, you know, almost 2 million people, so billionaires can have beachfront property. It, watch how this works, y'all. Okay, we invaded Iraq for oil. We secured the oil. We're good there. We put troops in Syria to secure the oil for the Kanoko killing fields in northern Syria. We Russia tried to invade Afghanistan 30 years, got their asses kicked. We tried. We took out the terrorist group, but we couldn't secure the resources. The billionaires couldn't secure the resources through extortion or whatever manipulation. There's only two groups. It's billionaires against the rest of the world. Okay, you got the club and you got the bear. If you don't want to be eaten by the bear, you got to live underneath the club. If you don't like the club, you're going to get eaten by the bear. It's just a big circle of billionaires that control both groups. It's not Democrat and Republican. It's billionaires against the species. There is no in between on this subject. These are what these people are. They're predators. They're addicted junkies. They're predators. And a lot of people look up to them. That's great if you do. That's on you. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm sure that there's been people that have sold out humanity throughout time. That's just what happens. It is everybody is a Judas at some point. I mean, if the money's right, it's just how it works, y'all. You can't judge somebody. Uh, well, I guess you could, but it's not needed to. I mean, the billionaires are bad enough, y'all. Um, well, I don't know. I'm sitting here by this thing, and I'm literally sweating here trying to make this video. It's pretty warm in here, but it is good for y'all to look at something, have something to look at. But yeah, that's why we did what we did. It's why Russia invaded Ukraine is for rare earth minerals, uranium, jazz like that, the coal, and they're sitting on the property that they wanted to steal. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold it. So a lot of billionaires that stole Crimea in 2014 and all the beachfront property need more beachfront property to steal. So now we have a billionaire stealing it in the name of billionaires, and Americans are going to die and bleed in Gaza, and taxpayers are going to pay for it. Um, I think it's wonderful, y'all. I mean, nothing. I know that sounds horrible, but it's not even sarcastic. It is this orange demonic creature is what more than half of this nation wanted. I hope you get your belly full. I hope you get so much of this evil prick, and all of them, okay, like Elon Musk is the most evil of them all. I hope you get your belly full of these people. Like it comes, like you vomited out and it comes out your nostrils so full. That kind of full with these people. And once you understand who they are and what they are, and then act accordingly, then it'll be a better world. That's half of my problem. From the very beginning, I started my research nonprofit because it was people like the steel conglomerates, the timber conglomerates, the oil, petroleum, chemical conglomerates that made cannabis illegal to begin with. These same billionaires demonized that plant. But what they didn't understand in their infinite stupidity is that there's a symbiotic relationship with basically the roots of mushrooms, mycelium, and it's shared between oak, aspen, conifers, and cannabis. Cannabis is actually a tree, y'all, and they all have a symbiotic relationship with the microbial the mushroom roots. Okay, I can't even say it today. And I was saying it wrong. That's why I had to stop. With mushroom roots, the web, and it supports it as long as it's growing. When you harvest the oak for ships, this is like 500 years ago, y'all. We've not slowly turned up the cooking. We've been doing it for a while. The temperature of the pot, it's boiling now. It's a raging boil. And it's going to scorch. We're going to burn here directly, and then it's all going to change. And so why I don't get excited. I know it just made the news, but I've known for a while, and it's not rare. You just got to know about these things. I've known since like the 80s. Okay, these are comets that are coming in succession. We're coming into a belt, into a field. The Apophis, this new Benny or whatever its name is, that's coming in 32. These are comets that are going to disrupt our life. One big, okay. The billionaires are aware of this. They don't care. They don't care that the earth is going to burn, as long as they're the richest idiot when it burns. Understand that, because it's important. They have no intention to go to Mars. Okay, you're going to run away from the only planet that supports life on Mars. To live there is fantasy otherwise. It can't happen in that in that condition. If we can't save this planet, we can't terraform Mars. It's that simple. What's going to happen in the next few years is that the Apophis comet is going to miss us in 2029. If the Thwaites Glacier hasn't calved by then, if it calves before, it's probably only going to go up maybe 50, 60 centimeters globally, the water level. If it hasn't calved at that moment, the likeliness when it does is the entire Thwaite sheet is going to go into the ocean. That'll raise it about 400 centimeters. Big difference. Do we know which one? No, we don't know until that event. If it calves before, we're probably in better shape than if it calves during the event. But will it calve? More than likely, yes. I mean, like I've said before, there's possibility and probability. Possibility, well, let's not even get into that. There's two, and the probability is it will calve during the event. The atmospheric shock will cause it, is what I'm trying to get at. There's going to be a lot of stuff that happens, y'all. That comet's going to put so much pressure on our ocean that, like, the volcanic ring of fire is going to blow. If at that point, if the lowering in salinity, the raising in ocean water hasn't cooled the stream off enough, the ocean, it's called the AMOC, okay, all capital letters if you want to Google it, y'all. The AMOC it's the current that keeps Alaska from being a glacier. And right now it's hot. And that's why Alaska was having like near record temperatures. It's why we're having near record temperatures in Colorado. And it's why Arkansas and Texas are freezing, because the hot air went up and displaced the cold air drops. But normally that hot water stays off of the Atlantic, off of the Alaskan coast, Juneau and stuff like that. That's why it stays warm on the Pacific coast. That warm water keeps Alaska temperate now. When it gets cold, it'll make Alaska a glacier. So if you live there and you don't want to live in a glacier in a few years, you might want to reconsider. Um, is it going to like end life? No, it's just going to be a winter and never summer again. So if you're up there and you're relying on like gardens and stuff like that, that's going to be really a trick. Unless you can float dirt, and it's going to be bright and sunny, y'all. I'm not saying that, but it's going to change like real directly. And so, no, I'm not all that interested in racing off or doing whatever y'all want to do. I'm in a good spot here, is what I'm trying to get at. Above 10,000 feet, I'm above the majority of the atmospheric rivers. I mean, yes, it's going to rain. Yes, I got to get prepared. Even here in the Highland Desert, I got to get prepared for being drowned by rain. There's a lot of stuff that has to take place. But making money is not one of my concerns. And if Elon Musk wants to take the dashes out of my social security number,